Hello, today we will be making a very interesting character. It's a Darth Vader. I really love this character and I really love Lego. So this is one of those minifigs. I like to make it, but I could not come across. So my children asked me to make it Darth Vader, so which is I do. So I bake one box of chocolate cake in our silicone shape, which is I purchased from eBay, and so once it's cooled, baked and cooled, so I level and trim all these sides to have a good shape. Once, and actually we didn't done it, it's just a little bit here. We probably have to do it because it's such an important character for us. It's Darth Vader. We want it to be very, very nice. It's a very precise character. So what we do is that's all done. Next is basically if you like to know how to make basically minifig, I have some video which is called how to make a silicone shape minifig, and you can have a look if you wanted for some tips in this video. And so once all that our cake is done, key is to make the Darth Vader. Basically, it's we needed a little bit boost up his head, sort of make it helmet. See, I cut two pieces from a chocolate sponge and another one here just to extra for boost up his head a little bit, and which is we join later with frosting. If you see my leftover from chocolate sponge from yesterday, but if you don't have any, you just can buy from a supermarket already ready chocolate sponge, or you can get a frozen one in the frozen section sponge. So what we do is once it's all nice, you can see that all this looks alright, because this will be actually parallel kind of his helmet with his chin, and this is to boost up his helmet on top, because it's very that's why it's very interesting character. It's a mysterious type of character, and we have to make it everything dark. So what we do next is we're using our classic chocolate frosting, and we have to firstly attach, oops, my head goes somewhere, to see these parts is, now let's have a look, make sure they're nice, make sure we see neck, because that's Vader does that sort of stuff. We have to be very precise about this sort of shape. And now we attach the third part, which is just a part of a helmet. It looks like a Russian hat actually. Alright, now see, as you can see, it's all attached now. So next step is we will start frosting all over our minifig. Once we apply all our chocolate frosting, that's how our Darth Vader look like now. Put extra of chocolate frosting on the forehead, where it will be helmet and the eyes. Do not worry to form it straight in, because we will form it once we apply ready to roll icing. Now we're using ready to roll icing, and it's like fondant, but it's not fondant. It's much tastier, and fondant may be easier to roll it and to apply on the cake, but this is great taste. Believe me, do try it. And what we do is put a little bit of powdered icing sugar roll it, take it from foil, roll it, make sure it's nice and soft and become workable. Apply some of powdered sugar and start rolling. Do turn quite often, otherwise it will stick to your working surface. Once it's bigger size at your cake, you apply on top of your cake, just slide it. But we have one requirement here, because Darth Vader has cape. We wanted to make a cape, so we actually roll it much bigger, just about like that, because we'll bring it back and leave it. These are ready to roll icing extra to making cape. Now we slide our ready to roll icing, apply some of powdered sugar and start working. See, if you want to bring up a bit closer, just lift it up and tiny bit bring up closer. And bring up closer too, because we want it make straight in, and this is, see, we need to form our hands. What we do with this, because it's black, will be difficult for us to make it basically visible. So what we will do, we will lighten up these parts with different sort of white kind of and silver coloring. So that's be really great. So what we do, when we're happy, we bring up right in, because details very important with especially Darth Vader. So make sure we see these parts here. Now, what we do with our head, try bring up closer to neck, just closer to neck, as much as you can, without actually tearing any kind of parts. And what we do is, we start formed carefully our helmet, just like that. It's part of let's have a look. I have tiny bit of, I think with my nail I kind of pierced a little bit, but that's okay. Now we form, and of course it's our head. Do not cut it any part of anything, because we what we want to do, we just want to put right in like that, because we want to make it a little bit more visible. We'll try to make it more realistic way. So we just go down here. This is just a fit. It's okay here. Now let's have a look. Our cape is coming with our shoulders, and it's going right around shoulders. And we better take toothpick. Just make sure we're not cutting something we don't want to cut. And let's have a look, make sure it looks pretty enough. Here one, and that's we will leave for cape. And so with something like that, and something like that. That's our cape. Bring up closer to cake as much as you can our icing, and do not trim it anything at all. We will leave it place for our cape. Now bring up closer. Let's have a look. Once you're happy enough with shape of your with head, then we can trim it closer. After trimming everything, this is how our Darth Vader look like now. So it's all sealed, it's all nicely done. Around mask, I just tiny bit pinch sort of areas to make them a little bit more sort of dramatic, realistic look. So what we do is, but here between legs, I did not worry about apply any kind of put ready to roll icing or anything like that. I just simply cut it, and we just apply our color just around it. That's all. And next step is to use our black liquid food coloring. So we just have to only outline part which is on the middle with your toothpick, just like this, just on the middle, because this part we will not color such as yet. We leave it because it's some patterns be involved. Now, for now, we just take our black liquid food coloring and start applying everywhere except our middle part. Including our cape. When we finish applying our black liquid food coloring, that's how our Darth Vader look like now. And it's, of course, it's not set yet, it's just still once color blend in, and it will be all beautifully done. So what we do next is we're using white gel food coloring. It's a WILTON brand. Just put a little bit on your plate and take a tiny bit of black liquid food coloring. I just put tiny bit just like that. And what we do is we blend in to make it gray. Reason is why we needed that, because we need to fill up rest of costume of Darth Vader, as well as outline all these little parts of, for example, we need tiny bit outline here, so we can use a little bit. I think we actually don't have enough black, we probably need a little bit, put tiny bit more just on the side for mixing, because I think we need tiny bit. So what we do is mixing, and we started a little bit outline here, outline there, just to make it more visible. Tiny bit here, and tiny bits here. After we a little bit blending, actually, what we do is using black brush and start blending slowly. We'll completely cover this one. Alright, let's go. Yeah, that's better. So we'll make it outline everything, and in the middle, we, with our gray color, we start draw our patterns. Firstly, just around it to fill up shape of our Darth Vader costume, just on the middle like that. And then we fill up rest of patterns. What also I like that we do is we needed to make eyes more obvious. So just take whatever left over from your cuttings of ready to roll icing. Take a little piece just like I did second ago. See, I roll it little tiny ball, And what we do is we place straight here. It will be part of our, as this is actually ice basically. It's here we are. See, what we do is later, I mean what we do is right now, we will color them as well. Because paint is still wet, this little icing will perfectly fit in. Here we are. Well, we finished now. One thing all I wanted to do is take this little tiny the silver powder, just apply on tiny bit on his wrists, because he has kind of shiny parts up there, so it's important to have them. So here we are, just a tiny bit. I think it's good enough. Now I just made up the I just made up a little lifesaver from red ready to roll icing. You don't have to do that, but if you really like it, you can do something like that. What? You can have a look a little bit closer. It's not quite dry such as yet, but it needs tiny bit of time to just sort of tiny bit drying away all these parts. And let's have a look. You can see some details. Seems to me it's come out not too bad, and I actually quite happy about it, because first time we done it something with cape, and it's worthwhile to go. So next time we might be make some Captain America or something like that, because he has cape as well. Well, thank you very much for your time with me, and please do write your comments, your ideas, subscribe. Love to hear from you. Until next time, goodbye.